I told you yesterday you was gonna pay me for my pain. I told you yesterday you was gonna pay me for my pain. See, you the type of person, you ain't used to having nobody around you to meet you where you at. All right? I'm equally as crazy. I'm equally mentally and emotionally unstable as you are. All of this was supposed to be put to bed yesterday.
You don't give a f. And my thing about people like Tamar, I would respect her more if she was a mother and just say, I really don't give a f about you. I ain't clearing up shit because I ain't got to. I would respect that more than I'm in mommy mode. I'm healing. I am damn near dead. You ain't that fuck. Allegedly, they rearranged your face. Them hands still work. You got a publicist and a manager.
Tamar Braxton is confronted by Storm Monroe for arranging for Funky Dineva. A child is who? With a capital C, Tamar Braxton is insane, and she brought Funky Dineva into the commotion this time. The YouTube television powerhouse Storm Monroe has gagged Tamar for putting Funky up in one of the clumsiest publicity tricks we have seen in a while, according to the headline that is currently trending. Let us dissect it. After posting a mysterious message last week, Tamar had the internet in a panic. She almost died. Sis wrote she woke up in a pool of blood with her nose fractured, teeth missing, and her whole outlook on life changed. The websites went into overdrive. Her sisters were constantly tagged, and fans flocked in with prayers. Guess who nevertheless got the heat in the end? Funky Dineva. The last person seen with Tamar that evening was C Funky. Like old pals, they were kikiing, drinking, and partying. Then Tamar's post appears. She remains silent for days. And back then, Funky was being side-eyed by everyone, including their mother, as if he were the antagonist in a Lifetime film. People wanted to know if he hit her, if he drugged her drink, or if one of his friends set her up. Tamar was as quiet as a church mouse when his name was being dragged. After a week, Tamar reappears in a glossy music video promo, smiling, dancing, her face unharmed and her teeth intact. Just promotion for her new EP, No Blood, No Hospital, and Funky Dineva was on the video, standing right next to her. Tell me that it is not messy now. It makes sense that Funky was hot. He took to Instagram to express his feelings of being taken advantage of. He caught strays all over the internet thanks to Tamar's small attention getter. In a 2-bit public relations ploy, he dubbed himself Collateral Damage while she sat back and let the rumors spread. He was not wrong, and his words were not mine.
Quinta Siegel said that she missing 4 teeth or not. I don't know. What I heard, I caught a little bit of Michelle ATLian's live. And what Michelle said is that allegedly Tamar had somebody drive her from Atlanta to Miami. She got her teeth done, and she came right back.
Storm Monroe enters this disaster from the front entrance at this point. As you are all aware, Storm has established a reputation for being uncompromising in the realm of YouTube rumors. After witnessing the Tamar stunt and Funky's burn, he expressed what the rest of us were thinking. This was betrayal, not merely tacky. In essence, he confronted Tamar for arranging a fictitious companion by dragging the scenario for trash on his platform. For who does that? Who allows someone you call family to receive criticism from the entire internet simply to make your music rollout seem spicy? That is what is happening here. Tamar wanted her new project to be seen. Rather, she created chaos that caught Funky off guard and resulted in Storm yelling at her. Now, the issue is this just another episode in Tamar's extensive history of mischief, or did she play herself at last? Storm Monroe, however, knew the answers. He laid it all out for the child. Tamar was not being careless. She was completely mistaken. Here's why. Storm first brought up the cryptic, "I nearly died" post. Just drama, with no background or explanation. The Storm was direct. You are not only pleading for prayers when you say anything like that. You are inviting trouble. People become alarmed. Blogs were wildly popular. Additionally, everyone blamed Funky because he was the last person seen with her. Tamar's quiet was not enigmatic, Storm said. It was careless. The greater sin followed. She was blamed by Storm for failing to defend Funky when the internet began to eat him up. Friendship means stepping in when someone's name is on the line, he reminded everyone. With just one post, Tamar might have put an end to it all. I was not hurt by Funky. However, she left him hanging instead. That was not just a misstep, according to Storm. It was treachery, unadulterated and straightforward. disappeared. The storm continued after that. He also timed the launch. After letting the news boil for days and having everyone pray for her, Tamar reappeared with a brand new video that was stylish and fresh-faced. Not without Funky in it. Storm criticized it for its appearance, a publicity gimmick rather than a near-death experience. The sort of action that could pique interest in her EP, but at the expense of a friend's good name. Storm also criticized her for allowing turmoil to overwhelm her rather than resolving it. He informed his audience that Tamar is constantly hiding the truth. I will reveal the whole answers in the captions. Trails of breadcrumbs that lead nowhere. Storm cautioned that it destroys confidence, but it works for headlines. Friends stop protecting you, and fans stop believing you. Because in real life, what appears to be mystique on the internet feels like manipulation. And what is his last point? Perception was where the storm struck her. According to him, Tamar's mystery may sell in songs, but it poisons friendships. Funky's brand was founded on directness. On spectacle, Tamar constructed hers. Storm made it apparent that those two worlds would eventually collide, and Funky ultimately paid the price for her mischievous behavior. Storm had a straightforward bottom line. Tamar made it difficult to distinguish between loyalty and showmanship. As she worked on her rollout, she allowed her pal to burn rather than shielding him. She opted for spectacle over honesty, and she lost it all rather than taking charge of the story.
The only thing I was looking for was some level of acknowledgement from her that I had did nothing to her and that I had no parts of what she had going on. All right? Now, I ain't no damn fool. We had to twist, move, bend her arm and get an act of Congress for her to post a little post. And the post read something to the effect of, no matter what he says, I love Funky Dineva, and if I would have known what was going on while I was recovering, I would have said something.
Let us not pretend that this was Tamar's first time engaging in any clumsy, eye-catching behavior. There is enough drama in Sis's resume to fill a BET documentary series. Funky and Storm's predicament fits neatly into a trend that has been seen for years. Let us go back. Since the days of Braxton family values, Tamar has been known as the sister who lived on the edge. Tamar was the drama queen, but Tony is the legend. Tracy was the raw one. May she rest in peace. She would quarrel, weep, and then return as if nothing had occurred. Although her sisters frequently shouted it aloud, fans loved it. Being the center of attention is what Tamar thrives on. We spoiled her, as Tony once acknowledged. You can see it, to be honest. The shenanigans became louder as Tamar's singing career slowed down. Her mysterious hospital selfies are impossible to forget. Sis would share a photo of herself with an IV and beg for prayers, but when fans questioned her about it, she would respond, "Mind your business. It is the same playbook." This is where she ran. Shock the public, remain evasive, keep an eye on the rumors, and Tamar received a list of those who would disagree with her. According to Candy Burris, she was challenging to collaborate with. However, there were conflicts with stylists, background vocalists, and producers. She most recently resumed her internet feud with her sisters, disparaging them as if family counseling had never taken place. Tamar has a definite pattern. She is aware that drama sparks conversation, and conversation keeps her current. Now, take a look at Funky Dineva. Q is not a saint. He has devoted his professional life to reading celebrities, to wigs, sliding, and dirt. Here's the distinction, though. Funky's mess belongs to him. He rarely hides behind mystery, but he is direct and sinister. You can tell where he stands if he says something, which is why this struck him so strongly. Even Tamar, who knew the truth, sat silent as his name was dragged through the gutter. Being silenced while he was being portrayed as violent was torment for a man whose reputation was founded on speaking. People seem to forget that Funky and Tamar were friends for years. Despite all of his jokes, there was a genuine degree of loyalty there, since she had appeared on his show and he had stood up for her when others tried to drag her. Therefore, it was more hurtful than any clap act when her quiet led others to believe that he had harmed her. Funky's entire brand revolves around being messy on his own terms, so the betrayal was painful. He will read about celebrities, wigs, slides, and drinking, but he has never made an effort to better himself by looking after himself, bringing down a pal. This hit was unique for that reason. It was Tamar's quiet that allowed the dragging to continue, not others. In his opinion, she gave them the plate rather than merely letting the streets come after him, and it was worse because of the timing. When Tamar's I Almost Died narrative was out, Funky had just celebrated his birthday. Rather than rejoicing, he spent the weekend evading charges and attempting to disavow any involvement in an incident that never occurred. Imagine that since your supposed friend will not clarify, your birthday becomes an interrogation. Funky was not blind to the irony, and it just made him more angry when he eventually clapped back online. Fans also took note. Funky is typically accused of inciting drama to get attention, but this time, he was the one holding the receipts and appeared wounded rather than dishonest. The dynamics changed. For once, Tamar appeared to be the villain and Funky the victim.
You don't give a f. And my thing about people like Tamar, I would respect her more if she was a mother and just say, I really don't give a f about you. I ain't clearing up shit because I ain't got to. I would respect that more than I'm in mommy mode. I'm healing. I am damn near dead. You ain't that fuck. Allegedly, they rearranged your face. Them hands still work. You got a publicist and a manager.
Let us be honest before you all pretend that Tamar created this clumsy little PR game. Since the beginning of time, celebrities have been pulling tricks and dragging people into the fire. Tamar is merely the most recent illustration of what occurs when focus turns into a product. Consider Smollett Jussie. He said he was attacked in Chicago. Do you recall that? People were furious about the report, celebrities were jumping to his support, and the news cycle was ablaze. Then, the receipts began to fall apart, and all of a sudden, he was being accused of putting the whole thing together. Taraji, Lee Daniels, half of Hollywood, collateral damage, and the people who supported him. They went to great lengths to defend Crow before the whole truth was revealed, so they all had to eat crow. That is comparable to the kind of heat Funky experienced. Unable to control the fallout while caught up in a friend's unpleasant story. Or look at Blac Chyna. Sis did the hospital selfie more times than I can remember when she was at home. A new product launch or a fan drop is followed by sporadic, cryptic posts and ambiguous health warnings. Clicks are effective. However, those who are close to her are always included as well. While Chyna continued to spin, someone Rob, Tokyo, or Tyga ended up catching strays. That same playbook seems to have inspired Tamar's bloody floor account. Let us not pretend that Storm Monroe's intervention is novel, and Funky Dinava's predicament is perfectly appropriate. He joins a long tradition of pundits who have made a living by holding celebrities responsible, even at their own expense. On daytime television, Wendy Williams did it. On the radio, Charlamagne Tha does it. On YouTube, Tasha K performs it. Too far at times. They were all criticized for their harshness. However, they also established the norm. Someone will call you out if you do a clumsy stunt and cause harm to others. Storm chose to pronounce the silent section aloud after noticing Tamar's action and figuring out what it was. Therefore, Tamar is not the only person to attempt a PR gimmick that fails. It is not the first time that Funky has been collateral damage. Furthermore, Storm is not the first person to say, "Enough is enough." All three, however, combine to create a perfect storm of rumors, treachery, and receipts that are all too familiar in the realm of celebrity shenanigans. Now, the true question is whether Tamar's voice or her exploits will be remembered as part of her legacy. History demonstrates that it is difficult to persuade someone that you are the victim once they begin to perceive you as the drama. She now moved onto social media with that quintessential Braxton blend of victimization and shade after Funky aired her out and Storm doubled down. I said, she said, no matter what he says, I love Funky anyway. Had I known what was going on while I was in the hospital trying to recover, I would have said something. It's terrible that whatever I didn't say turned into all this. I just want peace. Following this, it appears that Tamar went too far with Funky Kaz, who waged war on her. From this point on, things become crazy. Please share your thoughts in a comment section below.